Hello, welcome to the Blue Room live blog. This is a live forum where 25 Perth theatre artists have been invited to share their views on live arts and theatre in Perth. Tonight's blogger is McLoughlin.
Thank you. Thank you to Jancis and the Blue Room for organising these blogations about independent theatre in Perth. My name is McLoughlin. Now, firstly, a bit of history. I graduated from WAPA 13 years ago. Tried the Sydney scene for under a year and then decided to give theatre away and try to find out if I could survive doing something else. I went abroad and worked as a postie, a receptionist, an English teacher, toilet lady, ticket seller, and after a descent into drugs, alcohol and depression, decided that performance was definitely a healthier option. I worked as a musician, toured as a street performer with Osadia, and dubbed countless Spanish cartoons into English. I returned from Barcelona 6 years ago with a husband and child and a desire to immerse myself back into the Perth theatre scene. Amongst other collaborations over the last 4 years that I've been working here, I'm now part of an Australian-Spanish theatre company called Corazón de Vaca, or Cow's Heart in English. Our members are based here and in Spain. My present is in Perth as a performing artist, clown doctor with the Humour Foundation and mother. I'm very excited to be in Perth this time. Our industry is thriving with a proactive group of independent artists to appeal to every theatre taste. We have 3 new artistic directors for the major Perth theatre companies who are willing to support our efforts. We are in a very powerful position as we are a growth industry. The challenges I see in the Perth theatre scene relate to audience, funding, rehearsal venues and the maintenance of artistic practice. As another independent theatre maker once told me, there is an audience for everyone. It's just we need to hunt them down. We are isolated in Perth, but it's not the isolation from the eastern states or Europe that we need to worry about. It is the isolation that has grown between the theatre community and our audience. I agree with Thomas that we need to look globally as well to inform and refresh our work. It's too easy for us to stay cosily tucked up in our small nurturing nest. And in order to achieve the audience numbers we desire, we need to reach out to the non-artistic community. I commend Misha Ip's theatre club plan for sourcing the audience direct and will certainly be contacting her in the future about this. But I also say we need to turn it around. If we reach out to our communities, they will know where to find us. We, the artists, must become involved with our neighbourhoods. Join a swim club, a book club, volunteer to help with community projects or at your local school. Keep your day job. Having a bill-paying job makes you no less an artist. In fact, as Dave Milroy commented, it can feed your art. I was recently told a story about composer Philip Glass. In his early career, he was already playing internationally, but he still had to drive a taxi cab to make ends meet. One day he dropped off a wealthy New York lady and she noticed his name in the cab. As she paid him, she commented, "Do you know you share your name with a very famous composer, young man?" Success is a chameleon. It changes its colour for each individual. The moment I realised that the Oxcoasts was not my idea of success was the moment I began to find the people and projects I was passionate about. I also realised that time spent complaining about what we don't have wastes more energy and time than it takes to write a grant. Last year, Corazón de Vaca travelled to Spain with 4 Australian artists to collaborate with 4 Spanish artists to perform a show at the World Expo in Zaragoza. We applied for grants, and when the results of the funding rounds came out, we found we were unsuccessful. As I read through the recipients of that round, I saw the names included 2 actors I highly respect, Igor Sass and George Shetsov, who had gained funding for a project with McLoughlin. How excited I was for their success. To whinge about the unfairness of funding is an insult to those who have succeeded. We scrimped and saved, and got there in the end anyway, and truly succeeded with a captivating production we called Bridging Puentes that we hope to further develop here this year. In terms of rehearsal venues, we need to open our eyes anew. To search for venues, we must use the charm and entrepreneurship we already possess. We need to boldly scour the city for venues that may be free. Nightclubs that are lying dormant during the day may be willing to share their space with us if we demonstrate ourselves to be trustworthy and responsible. We could form alliances with amateur theatre groups for use of their venues, as most of their rehearsals are at night. Perth is a spacious city. Many parks are left empty in the daytime. The last couple of weeks, we lost our rehearsal space for a project we're working on. We approached Pete Stone and Jim Cathcart at the Fremantle Arts Centre, who allowed us to train on their grounds free of charge for the days we needed. People are generally happy to help, but you have to ask. As well as challenging our audience, let's continue to challenge ourselves with our artistic practice. If the pub is the domain of the musician, let theatre performance take to the streets. You don't have to juggle or breathe fire. A couple of weeks ago, a young dance company, AIVDT, or Anything is Valid Dance Theatre, staged a series of street performances in the centre of Perth, which they advertised as part of a mentorship program. This is something we could also do to be in touch with our audience, our practice, and earn some money for future projects. An opera singer who frequently busks around town says she earns more money busking than she does from her wage with the WA Opera. We need to get out and get ourselves seen. We independent theatre artists are the luckiest performers of all. The interests that reside in TV and film do not encumber us. We need to get out and get ourselves seen by the Perth public and community and show them what we already know to be true. That independent local theatre is a part of a healthy diet. It's homegrown. Sometimes it turns out bad, sometimes it turns out good. It's natural. It's warm. It's part of a community. Sometimes it's weird and we can't really explain what it's for. But it's ours. And though, to some people, it may appear to be dead, we're just throwing out seeds and preparing for the next season. And to finish with, I'd like to share a quote from Martha Graham. There is a vitality, a life force, a quickening that is translated through you into action. And there is only one of you in all time. This expression is unique, and if you block it, it will never exist through any other medium and be lost. The world will not have it. It is not your business to determine how good it is, nor how it compares with other expression. It is your business to keep it yours clearly and directly, to keep the channel open. You do not even have to believe in yourself or your work. You have to keep open and aware directly to the urges that motivate you. Keep the channel open.